So we are doing scientific notation. Remember, 1 before the decimal times 10 to some power. Everybody okay with that form? We're going to be using really big numbers in chemistry and really, really small numbers in chemistry. And so we need to be able to use scientific notation. When you do big numbers and small numbers on your calculator, it'll say something like this, da, 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 and then it'll go E22. Okay? To put that into scientific notation, I would go 7.89 times 10 to the 22nd. Okay? So I don't put E, I write times 10 to the 22nd. Okay? Now, because we're going to be using those big numbers and small numbers, scientific calculators like a real big must, because regular calculators don't have that ability to do big numbers or small numbers. Okay? So let's talk about big numbers and small numbers. As we're looking at big numbers and small numbers, anybody colorblind to red? I haven't made it through all your stuff yet in here. We're okay with red? All right. 1 mole is equal to this many things. Well, I don't want to keep writing that every single time I write, right? So I want to be able to write it in a better way. So to write it in a better way, I'm going to take 6.02. So I have 1 number in front of the decimal, and I can have as many after. Then I'm going to times it by 10 to some power. I need to move the decimal so that it only has 1 number before it. So I'm going to change this to green, and I'm going to count, starting here, because that's where the decimal is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now, it is a really big number, right? So I'm going to put a positive 23. I don't have to write the plus. I can just put 23, and I'm done. Now, a lot of kids, instead of doing little humps like I've done right there, they tend to go, okay, 1, 2, 3, mark it off that way. Some of them like to do just dot in the middle of the 0. My pen's off a little bit there, I'm sorry. Whatever makes it easy for you to count how many you need to move it, okay? We also deal with some really, really small numbers. So we need to be able to move it the other way. What number would I put first on this one? Anybody have an idea? On this one right here, what number would I put first? Yes? 9, good. 9 point what? 9.1. And then I would put the times, and then I would put the 10. Now, since it's a very small number, I'm going to put negative, because it's very small, so I'm going to move it so it's a very small number. That's in the negative direction. Okay, now, again, I do the same thing with counting, but here I start right here to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So it's going to be 10 to the 9th. If I didn't know, I could start here again. 3, 6, 9. Okay? We doing okay? Getting this? Thumbs up. Not getting it? Thumbs down. You can hold it right in front of you so I know if we need to do more. Okay, this is not moving with me. Why is it not moving with me? I'm not doing this. Okay. All right, so let's do this one. Okay, somebody else, tell me what the first number I need to write is. What is it? Yeah, you. 5, yeah. 5 point what? 0.79, pretty easy, right? Then what? Times 10. Big number, small number? Small number, so I've got to put a negative. Good. How many spaces do I need to move that decimal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that? You move it 5 spaces. Done. Okay, I want you to try on D to do those numbers by yourself. I'm going to put the answers up here in just a second. You try and do DI and DII by yourself. While you're waiting, make sure that you're trying to get your computer up. Remember, once it gets to the main screen, you're going to Network Apps, student, and DSD testing. I'm going to just walk around and see where we're at with that. Okay, once you get in, you should be able to take this safety test. Most of you are where you need to be. Go ahead and log in, username, password. Go ahead and take the safety test. We're going to come back together here in a minute. When you're done with the safety test, go ahead and shut your computer down and put it back, making sure to plug it in with the right plug on the right shelf and tucking the cords in. Okay? I am able to track who does what with their computers, and if it's not done, I dock you points, because it can cause the computer not to be ready for the next person, and if you don't tuck your cords in and the door shuts, it can actually crimp that cord and we can't get another one on some of the older ones, and then it won't charge. Okay? And it's your computer that you're going to be using, so you want to take care of it. No, this is, we're doing notes. The next one, the other white packet is your daily work. So if you get done with your safety test, the other white packet that's stapled is your daily work. And we've done through the first part, which is scientific notation. So you can do 1 through 8. Okay. Oh. It's not letting you in? Well, I know we've had trouble with 37. If you want to go get a different computer, like 29. Yeah, because we've had, no, not anybody's been able to log into 37. Yeah, let me try one thing real quick. I don't think I tried that yet. I was logged into DSD guest, so you might be able to, can't connect to the network. Okay, I've got to put a STS workshop order in for that, so go ahead and switch. And this one, I don't know. Are you using your PIN number or your student ID?
My PIN number. So to close it off?
Yeah, just close it all the way down and go get a new one.
What would you like that?
29 or 30 would be a good one. And
Get that
yeah, try and get another one. Some of you are struggling with getting in. I'm not sure why. I will leave it open at home too, so that you can take the test at home. It's through my DSD. It's under surveys. Okay, so if you can't get it done here, get it done there. You have to pass it with an 80%. It's pretty easy. Questions? Froze? Yeah.
So if I like exit it though, will it give me like 1 out of 31 as like the score?
But if you do it again, it will
Like
fix
will
it.
let me do it
Yeah.
again?
So if it's frozen, just try and get out of it and go do it again.
I just need to leave 10 minutes early because I'm doing the end zone today.
Okay.
For retail.
You got in? I don't know why some of them work and some of them don't. I don't know. It doesn't love you. Sometimes just exiting out of it and going back in, sometimes it'll let you. If too many have hit at the same time, that's fine. There you go. The test up there.
Just exit it and then go back in?
Yeah. If it's forever stuck.
You're good. You're in the test right now.
Yeah.
It's been loading the test for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so try exiting. And same thing you. Okay, we had a little bit of trouble, our last period with it too. Friday they didn't have any trouble with this test at all. We got in and out and we're done. So I don't know what's going on with the server at the district. Just keep it up for a minute. We'll come back and do some notes. If you're taking the test, just keep going with it. I'll put the answer up for DI and DII. We don't have very much more to do on those. So. How do we do? Good? Anybody need an explanation? Going back over. Okay. So, if you have forgotten the metric system that they started with way back in elementary school, this is a review of the metric system and how it relates to each other. Mass, we're going to be using grams as the main unit, length meters, volume liters, temperature Kelvin, it does not have a degree sign, and pressure when we get to atmospheres. The base unit right here, it tells you, I think you have on the next page a chart, not quite as big as mine, but you have a chart. And it tells you how many of each there are in each one. And then you have a lovely diagram that looks like this, the metric system. And it gives you a way to remember these. Okay, this is another way. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I like this one because of this right here. Because it tells you the conversion factors. When we're working in chemistry, we use what we call conversion factors. It's something that's equal to something. So that I can make...
Powell,
Yes?
if it says 301 to check out,
Okay, so you'll just need to... And I think we've been recording this, so... So we've got 13 minutes. Somebody's going to have a long break in there with... Oops, oh well, forgot to stop it. Okay, so you're going to have a conversion where something is equal to something else. And you can put one on the top of a fraction and would equal 1, or you could put the other on the top of a fraction. It would still equal 1. Okay, so as I'm looking at this, 1 kilo is equal to 1,000 units. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So I can make the fraction 1 kilometer divided by 1,000 meters, or 1,000 meters divided by 1 kilometer. These are equal to each other because they're equal to 1. Okay, it doesn't look like they're equal to 1, but they are equal to 1 because their units are different magnitudes. Okay? All right, so as we go forward here, we're going to be using this staircase, or these units, to be able to convert from one thing to another. Okay? We're using the metric system to introduce you to what's called dimensional analysis, or factor labels, how they use it at college, dimensional analysis. You'll hear professors say, oh, I want you to use DA. That's dimensional analysis. It's a way to keep track of the units. Now, I know a lot of you say, okay, I can just move a decimal this many and it's this, and I can move it back this way and it's this. I don't want you to do it that way. I want you to actually set it up as dimensional analysis. We're using it to teach you how to use dimensional analysis, okay? It's not because it's an easier way to convert metric system, but because you know the metric system, it makes it easier to teach you how to use the dimensional analysis later. Does that make sense? You guys look so thrilled. Okay. All right, so let's do this. 18 liters to milliliters. The first thing that you want to do is say, okay, I have got 2 units. I've got liters and I've got milliliters. And I need to go between them. Which is a bigger unit, liters or milliliters? Liters. So I'm going to say 1 liter is equal to how many milliliters? 1,000. 1,000. I'm just doing general here. 1,000 milliliters. Now, you'll also see me write it this way. Because to me, whoops, that L sometimes looks like a 2 when I'm writing. So I don't like to get confused. So I do the cursive so it doesn't. And now that I've got the conversion factor, I'm going to start with what I was given, which was 18 liters. And I set it up like this. Hi. Okay. What's your name? Say it one more time. Kevin. Okay, Kevin, let's have you sit in number 17 right here. What's your last name, Kevin? I'm just going to put V. Sorry. I'll get your picture picked out later. Okay, you'll want to pick up one of everything on the back table and then one of everything that's in the Gen Chem red box. Okay? All right, this is a shortcut instead of doing parentheses around things that you're going to times, instead of doing a divide sign and then parentheses on the bottom, but it still means the same. Whatever's here, I'm going to times by this. Whatever's on the bottom, I'm going to divide. So it's just a fast way to keep it nice and neat. Okay? Whatever I have here, I want to put here because I want to get rid of it. I want it to be able to cancel. So I'm looking at my conversion. What am I going to put on the bottom? The unit has to be the same as what I started with. Well, it's liters, so I'm going to put 1 liter, right, on the bottom. So I'm going to put 1 liter on the bottom. That means I've got to put the other on the top. Well, I wanted to get to milliliters, so that better be on the top. So I put 1,000 milliliters on the top. When I do that, liters cancel. Okay? So my unit still is milliliters, which is what I wanted. And I can just times 18 by 1,000, which will give me 18,000, right? And I'm done. Now, yes, you could do that with moving the decimal, but I want you to practice using this because we're going to get to the point where we do 5 or 6 conversions in one stint. Okay? And so we don't want to try and lose the unit. So this is a way to keep track of the unit. Okay, so next one. I'll keep that one so you can see it if you need to. On the next one, we're going to take milligrams to grams. Which is the bigger unit? Grams. So in 1 gram, how many milligrams? Milli means 1,000. So I'm going to have 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. So once I've got that conversion down, then I can go, oh, okay, I'm going to start with what they gave me, 450 milligrams. I want to get rid of milligrams, so it's got to go on the bottom. What do I put on the bottom? Which one? I want to get rid of milligrams, so it's got to go on the bottom. So I put the 1,000 milligrams on the bottom. Because these 2 units have to be able to cancel out. So on the top, I'm going to put 1 gram. My milligrams will then cancel. Now, this one, I'm going to go 450 times 100 divided by 1,000. And I'm going to get, for my unit, grams. And I'm going to move it 3 places, so I'll be 0.450. I want you to get used to writing a 0 point in front of a point. Does that make sense? Yes. So I did 450 times 1 divided by 1,000. Okay, so across is times, down is divide. Okay, I want you to get used to putting, though, this 0 before the decimal. Because when you're writing, I got sore old eyes, you know, and that little dot that you do sometimes there as a decimal, sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. Okay, so but if you put a 0 before, I know you wanted a decimal there. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, we got milliliters to liters, biggest unit. Liters, so 1 liter is equal to how many millis? 1,000 milliliters, good. Okay, so I'm starting with 400 milliliters. What do I put on the bottom? What do I put on the bottom? 1,000, good. I put 1,000 milliliters because I want to cancel out the milliliters, right? So what am I going to put on the top? 1 liter because I want to get to liters, good. All right, so I go 400 times 1, that's 400, divided by 1,000 is 0.4 liters. Now, why didn't I put the zeros? They're not significant. We'll talk about those next time. Okay, well, let's look at the next one. Convert 73 grams to kilograms, which is a bigger unit. Kilograms. So 1 kilogram is equal to Thank you, 1,000 grams. So 73 grams set up. What goes on the bottom? Yes, 1,000 grams. What goes on the top? Good, 1 kilogram. And I can cancel out my grams. And 73 times 1 divided by 1,000. Who's got the answer? 0.073 kilograms. Good. Okay, now, the only thing that, let's see, we go on to this next one. Okay, I actually want to do a couple more that are like on your daily work. Go up here. So just find some place that you can write off to the side. We didn't ever take a number, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Take a number that was in scientific notation and put it into normal notation or standard notation. So if I have this number and I really have to write it out to find out, like tomorrow we're going to be doing significant figures, I need to find out if it's significant or not. How do I change this back to standard? What does a negative tell me? Is it a big number or is it a small number? Small number. So it's going to be 0 point something, right? How many am I going to move? 6. So how many zeros am I going to end up with? This is the easy thing. I have to move it 1 to get to where I'm going to put zeros, right? So I'm going to take 1 away from that, and that'll tell me how many zeros. So 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to go 7, 8. Done. Okay? Now let's do it the other way. What if I have 3.67 times 10 to the 10th? Ooh. Now to find out how many zeros, I count how many after the decimal and subtract it from the number. So there's 2 after the decimal, right? Subtract it from 10, how many zeros? 8. So I just go 3, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. Okay, does it make sense? Go back and forth. That's an easy way to get it real fast. I know a lot of people say, okay, if there's 10, then I count here 1, 2, and they start doing that, and I'm going, okay, that's hard. But if I go, okay, there's 2 after, so I'm going to have to move it 2, take 2 away from that, I have 8 zeros. On this one, remember, I always have to move it 1, so just take 1 away from that, pretend like it's a positive, and that'll tell you how many zeros. Good? Okay. So the daily work front and back pages due next time. We're going to move and do a lab real quickly. If you get done with the lab, work on your daily work. Then you don't have to do any homework. Okay? Usually every day will be 1 page front and back. Sometimes there's more than that. But you have them all in your hands. Okay? If you miss a lab day or you miss a day, I'll be taking and recording this. You guys help me remember to record it. And I put it up on the blog. I'm going to show you that really quickly so you know where to look. So as you look at the blog, you can see right now, first is already linked, third is already linked, and I will link your 7th period here in a minute. But this is linked for day 2. So if you wanted to listen to another period's lecture and see if you got a better understanding of it, you could do that too. Okay? So if you don't really get it, you want to listen to it again, it's there. All right? Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We are going to do a lab. And this lab is going to be done in your groups. So the front row with the second row and the third row with the back row. And within your groups there on your table is a number, and it's colored. That color represents what you're going to go grab for your group. So let me tell you where it's at. Red, you're grabbing toothpicks, which are here, and food coloring, which is here, and enough rulers for everybody in your group. Orange, you're coming here to this paper. You're going to open this up and get it wide enough as a computer cart and cut it and take it back to your area. Green, you're getting shaving cream, a marker, and a paper towel roll. for your group. I forgot to put the paper towel roll up here. PT, right? Okay, blue, over here by this black fan and the coloring crayons, there's cardstock. You need to get one piece of cardstock for everybody in your group. Okay, ready? If your computer is, this is important, if your computer is being dumb and you're not in the middle of the science test, or you're in the middle of the science test and your computer froze, shut it down, put it away. We don't want the computers out while we're playing with shaving cream and doing wild stuff. Okay? I will leave it open on my DSD till next time. Just go in and do that. It'll take you 10 minutes. Okay? You can do it on any of the computers, hopefully that are hardwired. That'll go faster. Okay? Yes, you'll need to turn in your disclosures back in the back if you've got them. So we're going to move and then we'll come back together. I would just shut it down. And you can hard shut them down by just holding the off button for about 10 seconds and it'll hard shut down. They reset every time they hard shut down anyway. It doesn't hurt them. Yes? Just shut it down. Yeah, just shut it down. If you haven't tried it by next time or you're having problems next time, we'll try it again. There'll be some time. Okay?